Yo, my slime. I've always wanted to do sort of a tier list. I'm not really one to use the strong things. I just like to do what's fun. So I'm going to be ranking the survivor perks based on how fun they are. You got depression, which means it's like a hindrance to use. You have broad tier, which means it's not really that fun, or it's just kind of boring. Middle tier, you don't even notice it's there. And the rest are, again, self-explanatory. Now I'm going to be ranking these based on like the average time it works, so I can't rate Autodidact as really fun because you're not always going to get 5 stacks, that sort of thing. It's going to be in a realistic setting, and you have like one other person playing with you, so it's not a full survive with friends, that sort of thing. There's 101 perks, so this might take a while. There's literally 101 perks. And if you want me to do a killer version, just like comment it or like in the video. It feels weird saying that. It always does. I'm not used to this yet. And if you want to skip to a timestamp for a specific perk, I will put all of them in because I hate myself. So with that being said, I'm going to start now. Ace in the hole. It can be fun to get like an overpowered add-on, especially like a brown medkit with a styptic. But honestly, that's probably the best you can get. Or a high-ranking item, but you don't need Ace in the hole for that. You need Plunder. So I'm going to say kind of fun because you're either going to get something that's basically useless, like a toolbox with no skill checks, or again, a medkit with a styptic, which is really good. Now, adrenaline, I'd say pretty fun because especially if you have like one other friend and you're in a chase and you get hit and tell your friend to do the gen, that is very fun to get that health state back immediately. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty fun. Aftercare, honestly, I'm putting it in broad tier because the information it gives you is nice, but losing it feels way worse than getting it. Especially if you get 3 stacks, you spend the whole game building it up, and then you just lose it. That hurts more than any of the information it can give you. Alert's just kind of fun. Like, I don't even know about kind of fun. I'm teetering between kind of fun and nothing. Because seeing the killer for a little bit's nice. It's just really not that fun, honestly. I'm gonna put it right here. It's a neutral ground. Any means? I think it's pretty... It's more fun than Ace in the hole. Can I move it? Can I move it? There we go. It's more fun than Ace in the hole. But again, it's not that fun because most of the time the pallets get broken immediately. And then the pallets that stay there are probably like really bad, unsafe pallets that the killer is benefited for not kicking them. So picking them up kind of helps, but not really. So it's kind of fun. Appraisal. I think Appraisal is more fun than Ace in the hole. But honestly, it's not entirely that fun. Again, if you're using Plunder... Actually, you know what? Because you can combine these two with Plunder, I'm going to put it above any means, because you can't really combine that with anything. Oh, and then Autodidact. That's another bruh, but I'd rather use it over Aftercare. Because you probably will get at least 2 stacks. Only 2 stacks doesn't help you at all. And I've had games where I die because of Autodidact. But I still think it's pretty fun. Babysitter or Guardian, if you didn't have Stranger Things. With the buff that it got, I don't know, I still don't find it that fun to use. I would never run this outside of meming. So I'll just put it right here. I don't feel anything for running it. I don't feel bad for running it, but I don't have any fun running it. Balance is one of the more fun exhaustion perks, but then I wouldn't put it at adrenaline tier, honestly, but it has to be more fun than these 3. So I'll just put it right there. Better Together is not fun at all. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like Babysitter. Seeing people when someone goes down while you're working on the gen is nice. It's not that fun though. Honestly, I think Babysitter is more fun just because you can see the killer. Bite the Bullet is pretty fun. So many times, like you'll see so many clips of people just healing like 2 seconds after getting hit. It is hilarious. That being said, it doesn't work all the time and you probably need self-care or a medkit for it, so it's not gonna be an antidepressant. Blast Mine is, though. I love this perk so much. What's nice is you don't need any other perk for it. You could use Red Herring, really not necessary. And although it's not that effective, it is so fun to just see the killer explode. Again, not that effective, but still pretty fun. Blood Pact is pretty fun, although I'd rather have Adrenaline. Because you kind of have to go out of your way to get the bonus, and then even when you get the bonus, you lose it really easily. So, not the best. Okay, Boilover I am biased against because when it came out, I thought it would let me wiggle out 75% faster. When I found out it didn't, I got depressed. This perk is so depressing. You barely feel the perk working. Honestly, sometimes it feels like it works against you. Just because it doesn't do anything, so that's an easy depression. Bond, I used to love running this perk, mainly because I was immersed. I think it's more fun than... no, honestly no. I'd put it borderline not feeling anything. It's nice, it's kind of fun seeing where your teammates are if they're near you, just so you can join in on some dumb things, like if you're running, or if someone else is running head-on, you know that they're running head-on and you can set up with the locker. Circle of Healing is... the idea is probably up here, but actually using it, it's okay. I'll put it above all these, but it's not that good because, again, the novelty is really funny. It's like, oh, I can heal infinite amount of times, that's so fun. Is it really fun to run to like a corner and hold M1 for like, 16 seconds every time? It's not that fun. It is very powerful, but it's not that fun. Okay, Exponential is definitely bruh. Because when it works, it's so funny, it's amazing. But it will probably make you more sad because this will never work. It will almost never work unless the killer's either memeing or they just don't know that it's there. Which I find that hard to believe because they'll hear the loud Boon sound. So this kind of gives you false hope. It's more depressing than anything. But again, when it does work, it's very fun. And that increase in recovery speed is also pretty fun. But with most slugging perks, it just doesn't feel that nice to use because you getting slugged is pretty rare. I know in higher ranks it's a lot more common, but especially with something that you have to be in range for and you can't use anywhere like Unbreakable, it's not that good. At least in the fun factor, because it will almost never work. His Shadowstep, I feel nothing running. Actually, no, that's a lie. I feel like I want to put it above the item things, but I'd rather run item things. It is pretty fun to kind of run around a corner and have the killer not see you. I'd rather like have fun in more revealing ways, non-subtle ways, like a head-on, instead of like, oh, I hid and that's kind of fun. Like he didn't find me. Dumb idiot baby killer. It's okay. Borrowed Time's pretty fun. Definitely, but Blood Pact. Wait, why'd I put Blood Pact in pretty fun? No, that should be like... That should be right here. I don't know why I put that in pretty fun. That should definitely be kind of fun. Oops. But Borrowed Time, especially with Desperate Measures, is extremely fun. Desperate Measures and Dead Hard. And it's pretty nice to counter camping, and I don't mean like the camping where the killer knows you're there, so they rightfully camp. It's like when they face camp for no reason and there's 3 gens left. Botany's just a stat increase. I don't feel anything running it. It's nice, but it's not fun. Breakdown is an easy bruh. The more I think about it, it's a bruh. I kind of thought of it being kind of fun, but the only time you get value is when you're being tunneled, really. And even then, there's probably a hook like 5 seconds away. So it can do something, but you probably won't see that happen, which is kind of raw, honestly. Okay, Breakout. That's pretty fun. I like it more than Adrenaline, honestly, because you're just being a shithead and you're running right next to the killer. Is it good? Not really, but is it fun? Yes. Okay, Buckle Up, Seeds of Depression. I think it's more depressing that it hasn't been fixed, or sorry, not fixed. It's more depressing that it hasn't been like changed at all within like the 2 or 3 years that it's been a thing. The only fun you'll get out of this is if you win, then you have like the satisfaction of like, oh, I won with Buckle Up. Just run no perks, that's probably more fun. Okay, built to last can be pretty fun if you have a busted item and you just keep using it. It's fun in an absurd concept. Actually using it's not fun, as in like, oh, I hide in the locker for 12 seconds. If you have like a brown med kit, this is pretty boring, honestly. Calm Spirit's kind of fun. Definitely below these though. The only time Calm Spirit's pretty fun is if you're countering another perk. So Infectious, Iron Maiden, Doctor. That is pretty fun, but well, Infectious is pretty common on some killers. It's pretty situational. Camaraderie, or Kinship if you don't have Stranger Things. Part of me wants to put in Depression, but the other part of me wants to put it like in pretty fun. So I'm just gonna put it in kind of fun. Definitely above Calm Spirit. When this works, it's hard to describe. It's like, sure, you're just kind of on the hook, you're not doing anything. But just having it work is pretty fun, and that should kind of say how bad this is. Like, you expect this perk not to work. Unlike these perks, you expect them to work in some sort of way. Besides Buckle Up, because everyone knows that's not going to work. But you expect these perks to work, like Aftercare, Autodidact, Breakout, especially Exponential. But Camaraderie, you don't expect to work at all. So when it does work, it's actually pretty fun. Unpatched Clairvoyance would easily be up here. You could still face with the killer while they're vaulting though, so that would definitely move it down to around here. I wish they didn't nerf it, but they needed to nerf it. That was really dumb. But being able to like easily window tech is nice, and that's pretty funny, especially with Iron Will. Corrective Actions, like, I don't feel anything for running it, but I feel sad that it's a thing in the game, so just put it down here. It's almost gonna do nothing. And even if it does do something, really it's like fun. It's like, oh, I prevented a bad skill check. Yay. Counterforce. I think if you get it to, 4 stacks and then cleanse a totem in like 2 seconds, that's very fun. But you're wasting so much time finding totems that honestly, I'll just put it on like a middle ground. If the killer's Pentimento, you can cleanse 10 totems, which is really stupid. And seeing that go up is very funny. However, you are actively hurting your team by cleansing every single totem with Pentimento. So maybe don't do that, but that is pretty funny. Tangibly is pretty fun. Just, you lose scratch marks. That's pretty fun. And I think Blood as well. There's nothing wrong with it. And kind of turning a corner after vaulting, especially with like Lithe or something stupid like that. That's pretty fun. I don't really have much to say about it. I don't feel anything running Dark Sense. You just see the killer's aura. It's not that fun. If Dead Hard wasn't a meta perk, I think it would be really, really fun, like up here, or maybe up here. But because so many people use it, it's kind of routine now. However, Dead Harding for a save is actually pretty fun, so I'm gonna put it right here. Another personal thing with Deception, I swear to God. Every time I use it, it doesn't matter how well I use it, it never works. It never works. But I don't want to put in Depression because honestly, I have fun with it. And even when it doesn't work, I have fun with it, so honestly, I'm gonna put in kind of fun because the times when it doesn't work it's pretty frustrating. But when it does work, it's very fun. If you're the type of person who hates people, I think Decisive will be very fun for you. Having Decisive activate on a pure intention is very fun. However, most people just jump in a locker for it. It's fucking stupid. I'll put in pretty fun. Deja Vu is kind of like Dark Sense. I don't feel anything running it. It's nice. I love Deliverance so much. Deliverance has a very big chance of not working, so that's why it goes down 1. But I swear to God, flexing on killers by saving yourself is very fun. Now, unlike Botany, Desperate Measures helps you unhook faster, and I moved Kindred. And same as Borrowed Time, because these two go together very well. Just unhooking super fast in front of the killer is actually pretty fun. I don't get why you don't get the speed bonus for dead people, because it makes the situation more desperate, but whatever. I will put Kindred up here. It's a very good perk, but it's not that fun. When it is fun is when you see the killer camping them. This is Detective's Hunch. It's along the same lines of a bunch of aura perks. They're okay. They're not that fun. Although Detective's Hunch can help you find totems. So I'd say that's better than Bond in that regard. I think Distortion is sadly a bruh, but it works more than Exponential, so put it there. All of Jeff's perks are not that fun to use, to be honest. Distortion can be pretty fun, like haha, I blocked the aura. If you're next to someone, it doesn't mean shit, so that's actually pretty frustrating. Diversion's easy, antidepressant. Pebble's really fun. Having a killer fall for your diversion is a feeling that cannot be matched by anything else. Even when they don't fall for it, it's funny because you know they're getting sick of your shit. I should move it above. It's probably the most fun one so far. Empathy's another aura one. I'll put it above Bond because it has a better use case. Fast Track is definitely a bruh, but it's better than Distortion. All of these bruhs are getting slightly better. The reason why it's bruh is because the entire perk effectiveness is basically a brand new part if everyone is dead. At that point, you don't need a brand new part. You need the hatch. Fixated or self-aware. Honestly, it's pretty fun. You might think walking around's not that fun, or walking a little faster is not that fun, but honestly, like, doing scratch mark jukes is so much easier with this, especially if you hide around a tree, a shack. This perk's amazing for that. So yeah, I think it's pretty fun. So Flashbang, I think, is way more fun than Diversion, because it's way more in your face. That being said, the amount of times it's exploded in their face and it hasn't done anything, and I know they weren't looking up, that's pretty annoying. But I can look past that because I'd rather run this than Diversion. Okay, so I think I have like Stockholm Syndrome with Flip-Flop. I love Flip-Flop. It is a horrible perk. And honestly, to be consistent, I have to put it in Depression. But I love this perk. I just know that this perk almost never works. You get slugged for like 3 minutes. This doesn't help you at all. And there could just be a hook like right next to you. So that's pretty depressing. For the People's very fun. I'd argue more fun than Dead Hard. Because again, I like the in-your-face fun. You just run up and insta-heal someone. If they have Soul Guard, this becomes way more fun. Head On is another super fun one. I'd rather Flashbang, honestly. You jump out of a locker and jump scare them. That is so funny. Hope is kind of fun. Running 7% faster might not seem like a lot, but when killers only run 15% faster, this is a pretty big deal. That being said, getting value out of this perk is kind of slim. Although if you're going against a 110 speed, this is very fun. Inner Strength has definitely gone down due to Boon totems. You're basically discouraged from cleansing totems now. Especially with Pentimento. Like, they just really don't want you to run this perk. But that being said, I still find it fun, definitely, but I'll put it like above Dance With Me. Having an on-demand 8-second heal is pretty fun, but the fact that you're discouraged from running it now, it would have been way up there if Boon totems weren't a thing. So Iron Will, honestly, is very fun, although some people won't take it off for their life. But I'd put it... I think Bite the Bullet's more absurd, which I like more. Iron Will is so meta now that it's kind of boring. So I'm gonna... It's gotta go above Clairvoyance, come on. But... honestly, I should move down Clairvoyance a bit. Because, again, like Inner Strength, you're discouraged from cleansing totems now, especially. So it'll go down here. But Iron Will is very funny for hiding right next to the killer with no blood. But it's so meta now that honestly, it's kind of become... I've grown desensitized from it. I don't feel anything from Leader. It's better than Alert. No, it's not. I have more fun with Alert. It's just kind of boring. Left Behind is easy, bruh. At least with Breakdown, Autodidact, honestly, I'll put it above Corrective Action, but nothing more. Because most of the time, you'll just escape, and this has such a low use case that even when you do find it, it's aura reading. Sure, the aura reading is you win, but it's kind of boring. Lightweight, I feel nothing running. I feel completely nothing running it, so I can't put in bruh because I don't feel anything. Lithe is kind of fun. It's very simple. It's actually too simple in that regard for fun. I gotta put it... Yeah, I'll just put above the items. It's not that organized, but whatever. Lucky Break is very fun. It's very fun. I gotta put it right here. Because it'll probably only work once or twice per game. But if you're running Lucky Break, you're probably running other things. If you're using like Lucky Break Overcome and you just get hit and turn a corner, you're gone. So that is very fun. You know, with Mettle of Man, I know I should put it in the bottom tier. But honestly, I have to put it up here. This perk is so fun to use. And I know you're hindering your team. But even getting the one hit and then dying is so funny because no one going into a game expects anyone to run Mettle of Man because this perk sucks. But the effect of it is actually very nice. So I gotta put it up there. If you run no Mither, you probably hate yourself. It's like, oh man, I want challenge in Dead by Daylight, so I'm gonna run a perk that'll make me get tunneled. If killers didn't tunnel me so often every time I run this perk, I'd put it above. But it's not fun at all. Even with the buff, I feel nothing but sadness. No One Left Behind is also pretty sad to use. It's kind of the same edge case with Left Behind, except it's better than Left Behind. Object is pretty fun, but since the nerf, thank God, they needed to nerf this perk so bad. It's like kind of fun. I think it's more fun than Blood Pact. But now that Object has a bunch of anti-synergies, it's not that fun anymore. Off the record, I don't feel anything running this, although it does have more of a fun factor than Counterforce, for example. And you can't really synergize it with anything, so... Open-handed is very fun with Kindred. Everything else, it's okay, so I'm just gonna put it above Bond. It's another aura reading thing. Overcome is pretty funny just on its own. It's definitely above Dead Hard, but I think For the People is more funny. You just get hit and you run away, like a shithead. That is very funny to me. Pharmacy, the free green medkit's nice. It's not that fun though. It's kind of fun. Just for getting the free medkit and faster chest search. Plunderer is the most fun out of the item ones because you can actually get stuff. Of course, since keys are nerfed, the maximum potential for this perk has gone way down, but regardless, I think that's the best one out of any of the item perks. Poised, it's okay. You can get some funny moments out of it, but that's so rare. If you've seen almost any video of mine, Power Struggle should be probably one of the lowest ones in Depression, but honestly, it's my favorite perk. The times it will work by itself is almost nothing, but running an entire build with it, I call it dumb build because it's so stupid, is so fun. I can't get rid of it. Going down under a pallet and then having a friend with you with a flashlight so the killer kind of gets distracted for a bit will make this perk work almost every time. Although that being said, having all those things line up, not that common. But God, is this perk fun. That premonition. Again, it's not like, it doesn't make me feel bad for running it, but it's, again, not that fun. It's definitely more fun than Lightweight though. With myself's kind of fun. Getting points makes it go up way higher though. Getting a bunch of co-op points makes this a lot more fun. Quick and Quiet is more fun than Dance With Me. Since the cooldown is only 20 seconds, you can do this multiple times and chase easily, and that will mess them up pretty bad. Red Herring, it's supposed to be fun, but honestly, I don't have fun with Red Herring. It takes way too long to set up. And even then, it probably won't work that often. I'd rather run Fast Track. This is supposed to be a meme perk, but I don't have that much fun with it. Rest kind of falls under that, except it actually is pretty effective when it does work. It's not as fun as Borrowed Time, but it's more fun than Desperate. Resilience with Vault build, this is pretty fun. And since Resilience takes up the bulk of Vault build, I will put it above Dead Hard. Honestly, I find it more fun than Dead Hard. I don't feel anything with Resurgence. It's more fun than Poised, but like, it's just a static buff. Not that interesting. Rookie Spirit is... it's informational. I'd say more fun than Alert in that sense, but no, Alert is more fun. I don't know, man. It's just kind of boring. A Saboteur would be up here, except for the dumb mechanic where if you cancel it, it goes on cooldown. So that's really annoying. Even though, that being said, I would put it right here. Second Wind is... I don't know which one to put in the end. I gotta put it above Autodidact and Breakdown, but not above Exponential. This perk's effect is nice, although getting it is harder than Deliverance, I'd argue. Jesus Christ, self-care is boring as hell. I'd argue it would give you depression just holding down M1 for 32 seconds. But having it with a good medkit is pretty okay. So I'll put it above Aftercare, but it's still pretty bad. This is self-preservation, I think. You can tell where I'm gonna go just because I am kind of foggy on the name. You'd think this would be a funny perk, it's like, oh, you know, they get hit, I do the dumb meme thing where I don't leave any trace. And that is pretty nice. But honestly, you have to convince yourself that this perk is working, honestly. So, I'm gonna put it down here above these, but it's really a sunk cost fallacy that whenever you're running this perk, so. Slippery Meat is down here. I can't tell you how many times I've ran Slippery Meat with a luck offering and nothing happened. It is ridiculous. It's not like a once in a while thing. This happens way more often. I'd rather run Deliverance. Because at least Deliverance won't convince me to kill myself. Small game. You find totems. I'll put it above these just because at least when finding a totem, like that's why Counterforce is up higher. Because if there's a hex, you can find the totem. That's pretty nice. Is it fun? Not really. Smash hit, like, you're seeing a trend here. The more in-your-face ones are pretty funny. Smash hit is up here. I'd say more funny than Overcome. Wow, Soul Survivor doesn't do anything. I'd rather run no Mither. Solidarity is kind of like self-preservation where you have to convince yourself that, oh, it's working. It's really not. No, it's bruh. It's totally bruh. What am I talking about? You save 8 seconds. And that sounds like Resurgence, because it does give you the same value. But Resurgence is... it works more, and you don't have to spend 16 seconds getting it, so... I'm gonna put it... well, I'd rather run No One Left Behind, because at least you get a giant boost in healing speed. And unhooking. Soul Guard is pretty fun. Although, because it's barely going to be used, or it's barely going to work, I should say, I gotta put it like, it's more fun than Adrenaline, but Decisive will work way more often, and Breakout is more stupid, so. Spine Chill is also part of Vault build. It does give you more effects, but those effects aren't that fun. So, like, they're useful, don't get me wrong. Is it fun to run Spine Chill? No, it's not. In fact, Spine Chill is more of a crutch than anything, so let's put it down here somewhere. It's more fun than these aura reading. And Stealth Killers, it's actually pretty fun. Yeah, I'll just put it right here. It's not that good. Sprint Burst. 99 Sprint Burst is pretty fun, I gotta say. That's the only reason why it goes up here. If it wasn't a thing, God, this perk would be boring. Stakeout. No. No. It's okay, but I'd rather static boost for heal. I'd rather, like, a lot of things than free great skill checks, because great skill checks, while kind of hard in the beginning, like especially if you haven't played for a while, get into the rhythm of it. Streetwise, it's basically worse Botany. I'm gonna... I want to put Technician up here, just for trolling your teammates. Honestly, that makes it very funny. Let's be honest though, this perk is very depressing. I really want to I'll put it in kind of fun. I love Tenacity. It is pretty fun to crawl away and having the killer not find you, and then you bleed out and die, because you're not running anything else. Although you probably are. This is not happening, more like, this is not being used, it doesn't do anything, and unlike the other things where like passive, it's just depressing running this. Although at least it doesn't make me kill myself, so... I would argue that Unbreakable is not that fun. There's no novelty with it, it's good, obviously, it's one of the best. It's not that fun though, you hold a button and then maybe you get up or maybe you get picked up. It's very binary, in that sort of sense. And unlike Soul Guard, where you can maybe use it like an infinite amount of times, this is a one-time use. The speed boost for recovering is nice. It's not that fun though, honestly. Maybe that's just me. Up the Ante is in the same tier as Slippery Meat because it only affects unhooks. So it's convincing me to kill myself. Urban Invasion is actually pretty fun, only because if it's like a hag or a range killer, it's nice to be looped with. Vigil is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's just a nice boost, but what makes it more fun is it removes exhaustion, so you can use your other dumb perks like Head On or Overcome more often. I literally forgot. Oh, Visionary, that's right. Yeah, it's not fun at all. Although at least you know it's working, so. Wake Up's another sunk cost fallacy. You have to convince yourself like, wow, I'm opening it 15% faster, that's so cool. No, it's not. Well, Make It's kind of fun. I'd say more fun than Hope. So, yeah, it's just nice healing speed. And it's pretty fun to have a killer come back for the tunnel, but then healing them in half the time. Kind of like We're Gonna Live Forever on downed people. Except We're Gonna Live Forever gives you points, and that automatically makes it more fun. And then the last perk is, of course, Windows, alphabetically. I'd say it's kind of fun. Debatable. Either that or, like, kind of boring. I don't know for this one. It's kind of eh. Yeah, I'll just put it there. Honestly, I don't know where else to put it. Like, I could probably put it a bit higher or lower, but it's just not that remarkable. Okay, this is me fixing one thing. Deception's got to be higher. It's got to be way higher. Borderline, you know, it's got to be up here. I don't know what I was thinking putting it there. It's way higher. It's very fun. I don't know what I was thinking. I might move this around a bit. Okay, honestly, I think I'm happy with this list. There could probably be some changes, but my dumb monkey brain just loves these perks. I moved Flip-Flop from down here to up here because I just love it when this works, honestly. It's kind of the same feeling as Head On or Power Struggle when it works. I'm biased with this. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you want to use this, I'm going to link this down in the description. They're not labeled like this. It's just a generic perk tier list. But you can just name them like I did, and then go from there, if you want to make your own. So yeah, again, if you want me to do a killer version of this, I will. Just, you know, comment. But I had fun doing this. I had so much fun, I didn't realize I've been recording for an hour. I've talked for literally an hour. It didn't even feel like it. I think that speaks to how fun it was pretty fun to talk about these, because I do enjoy these. And if you disagree with me on anything, just, you know, again, comment. I'm sure there's a lot of things that can be more fun, and I'm sure people disagree with me with Technician. I just think it's fun to fuck with people. So yeah, that's it. Have a good day.